Hi, today I'm talking with George Igoe from George Goes Everywhere. He is a new frugal travel series on millionstories.com, and we're going to chat about some ways to save money on travel. Hi, George. How are you today?
I'm very good. How are you?
Good. When you're going to a new city, what are some of the first things that you look for on finding fun things to do on a budget?
Well, I try to look sort of kind of for more off the beaten path kind of things. I try to look beyond, kind of the first page of Google results, the first page of TripAdvisor results, and try to find things that are a little bit maybe more hidden. One of the rough guidelines I like to use when thinking about an activity is, would this be a good place for like a second or third date? It's like, is it kind of kitschy, kind of off? Would be a good place to, maybe someone you don't know that well, you're still getting to know them. Would it be a fun activity for that? And that's just kind of a rough guideline I like to use.
Now, a lot of people don't know that travel really can be affordable. You can do lots of fun things and you don't have to blow your budget. What are some of your tips for people starting to make their summer travel plans?
I think open yourself up to more options. You don't necessarily need to go to the 5-star restaurant in a place. I know that's something a lot of people want to do, but that's also going to be really expensive, unfortunately. And so just try to open yourself up to more different things, more street food, which is often, I think, just as good and way cheaper. And just different options. I mean, open yourself up to more things that you might not do in your hometown, and that'll give you many, many more options and hopefully allow you to save money.
Can you tell me about an attraction or two that was either free or an amazing deal that you really absolutely loved?
Well, there's one play in Atlanta. There was there's something called Tiny Doors ATL. Mm-hmm. It's a local artist has just created there's about 15 of them, I think, around the city. And there's these little, 4 or 5 inch tall doors and front stoops basically that she's put in the side of buildings, and they're hidden and they're just all over the city now. And they've become quite popular, actually. And it's completely free, and it's just someone just expressing themselves, just a talented local artist just doing something. And I think it's proving to be one of the more popular things that I've done. People see it and they love it.
Now, here in the Midwest, we love a good road trip, and I understand that you have some Midwest locations coming up on adventures. Where will viewers see you going?
I'm going to Midwest. It's Chicago, Milwaukee, and Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm. You want to share any highlights without giving me spoilers, or do people have to tune in and wait and see?
Oh, I can give a little some highlights. Well, I mean, first of all, Chicago is actually one of my favorite cities in the world. I'd been there before, but I just love it, and every time I leave, I can't wait to go back.
I'm married to a baseball fan, so we have to go often.
Oh, okay. Well, I went to the Wrigley rooftops.
Mm-hmm.
In the Chicago episode, which are one of the most unique things in sports, I think. But Milwaukee also kind of blew me away. I'd never been, and I was really surprised by how much fun stuff there was to do, especially since it's one of the smaller cities that I hit in the series. But was really surprised. I mean, I went to one of my favorite places I went. At Green Bay Packers games where they wear those foam cheese heads? Oh, yeah. I went to the factory where they make those foam cheese heads.
Oh, that sounds fun.
You can make your own. You can pour the mixture into the mold, and you do it, and you're in their factory. And I just loved it. It was really up my alley.
That sounds like a must-do for Wisconsin folks, or anyone visiting. One of the things I really liked about your show is you show things that solo travelers can do. Solo travel is a big trend, and more people are trying it. Do you have any tips for solo travelers who might be looking to save a little bit of money?
Well, I've traveled solo extensively, and one thing I think about solo travel is try to have things planned. And I know, when you travel, you do want to, leave yourself open to discovering things and kind of happy accidents. But also when you're traveling solo, have things planned, because if you don't, you can run into getting bored or lonely. And so, have a plan for each day, something you're going to do, a reason to get up in the morning when you're traveling solo. That's something that I've found that works. And also with solo travel, I also travel fast. 2-3 days in a city has proven to be enough for me when I'm solo.
Well, you can see a lot more.
What's that?
You can see a lot more when you're just by yourself. So
absolutely. And if you're in a city longer than that, if you're there for 4, 5, 6 days, I think when you're solo, it can get a little lonely. So I like to keep moving.
Now, a lot of people might be just getting ready to travel for the first time in a while. Now that they're getting vaccines and places are starting to open up again, what are some of your tips for traveling safe while still social distancing? Oh,
well, I haven't traveled in, the past year or so. I've been abiding by all recommendations. For that, it's hard to say. I think just follow, what local guidelines are. It varies state by state. I will be, I'm not eligible yet, but I will be getting the vaccine. I hope as many people do as possible. But I think just, abide by local recommendations, listen to the science, and try to be safe.
I know one thing that we've also learned too is so many attractions now book appointment time. So if you're wanting to go to go see a museum or a particular attraction, it never hurts to visit their website and make sure that you don't need an appointment first.
For sure. That goes back to, putting in the research, doing your homework beforehand, and checking to, making sure you have all that information at the ready.
As far as just wrapping up, and what are some of your final tips on finding budget-friendly things to do, no matter where you travel?
I think it comes down to putting in the time, and really, I'm a big proponent of research. I know I've said it before, I'll say it again. It goes down to digging deeper, digging past the first page of internet results. The first page, you'll wind up at touristy places that charge you $23 for a cheeseburger, and that's just not going to be good for your bottom line. So really try to dig deeper and put in the time beforehand, because it'll save you money when you're on the ground. Okay, and would you like to share where everybody can find some of your upcoming adventures? Yeah, they're all available on millionstories.com. And it's completely free. You don't have to sign up for anything. I hope everyone checks it out. All right. Thanks for visiting with us today. Thank you for having me.